Owl Phone Case Nail Art Tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish. Hi everyone! So in today's video I'm going to be showing you how it's inspired by a bracelet that I got from Enjoy Yours, and it's a phone case that I also got from that website. And so the phone case was just plain clear, but plain clear is far too boring for me, and so I thought I would dress it up a little. So I used nail art ideas and techniques and some products that you would normally see in nail art, and then I painted my phone case. And so it's cute, it's just a teensy bit 3D, which I kind of like. And so yeah, I hope you like this, and don't forget to click subscribe to see my future videos as well. So here's the bracelet, and the bracelet's got a little hinge on it, and the one thing that I have actually mentioned before is that it's small. So if you have small wrists, it's going to fit really well. If you don't, probably not. The phone case itself has a little bit of flexibility on it, and the button covers and stuff are really nice. On the bottom, it's got like a little cap over the plugs so that no dust gets in there, which I like. My other phone cases don't have that, so that was something that I really liked. And so now I'm going to start painting, and I'm using multi-surface paint. So this is, if you go to a store that has it, Walmart, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, or whatever store you have, and you look at the paint department, like the craft paint, there's going to be like, I know that in the US there's Americana and Apple Barrel, Folk Art, all those are really common, and most of them have multi-surface varieties. And so a multi-surface one is going to be dishwasher safe, good for glass material, any surface basically. That is the kind of paint you need to do this. Regular craft paint is not going to work. It's not going to stick. You need the one that says that it can go in the dishwasher and is good for outdoors, indoors, pretty much invincible. That's what you need. So I just went through with white, and I'm going to be painting just the outline of my owl where I want him to be. So I started with the body, added a tail, feathers, all that good stuff. And so now I'm working on the eyes, and I'm not making this perfect. This is just, like I said, like almost like sketching it out. It's not supposed to be flawless. And so now at the top of it, I just wanted to go through and paint a little tribal type design. And so I started with two lines that were nice and parallel to each other, just across it like that, using nice long strokes. And then between them, I went and I added some X's. First, I just capped off the ends, but then fill it in. First actually no, they're not X's, I lied. That's something else that I painted recently. It's just little diagonal lines going all the way across like that. And then between every other section, I went through and added other little lines. So I would do one, then skip the next one, and so on and so forth like that, just going through them with much finer lines than the other ones. And then in the sections between those that don't have anything that are clear, I just added a polka dot. Just like that. And then I forgot to add lines to that last one. So then above and below that, or just below that, I'm not above it, I'm going to go through and add a little like a chevron, a singular line of little zigzags going back and forth, just like that, going across. And when I was doing this, I didn't really have a plan. This was just whatever I felt like painting at the moment is basically what I did. I didn't plan this. Usually I'm pretty meticulous about planning my stuff out, just so that you know, if you have an idea and you know you like your idea before you start, you have a pretty good chance that it's going to turn out well, because it's all figured out and planned out. And if you don't, then you don't know for sure what's going to happen. So then along the top line, I went through with large polka dots and then littler polka dots between them. So now to fill in the eye area, first in the middle section, I went and I put in a layer of white paint, and then I'm blending in some black so I get a charcoal color. And normally you'd probably want to mix your paint off the surface and then paint it on. You don't normally mix paint on, but for whatever reason, I was not feeling in the mood to mix paint, so I just decided that throughout this whole thing, I was going to do it as I went. So that's what happened. And then the next section's white, and then the next section is pure black. Just, you kind of want to go dark light, so that everything shows up and contrasts really well with each other. And then in the darker section, I added white polka dots. In the white section, I added black polka dots. And then for that last middle black circle, I'm just going to leave that one blank. And so then filling in white with the outer area. And then just right along the edge, I'm going to be blending in some black, just so it looks like it's a little bit shaded in, and like it's got some shadowing going on with that. So just add a little bit more of that black paint. When you're working with the multi-surface paint, if you've never used it before, it's got a different feel and a different consistency than regular craft paint does. Instead of being like really thin and drying really fast. The craft paint has almost more of an oil paint type feel to it because it doesn't dry nearly so fast. I mean, it dries faster than oil paint, but it takes, instead of drying in 5 minutes, maybe it takes 20 minutes or something. I don't know the exact times, but something like that. So it feels different as you're painting with it. So you can do things like blending in that edge really easy after it's on the case. You have more time. And the paint itself is more of almost like a jelly type consistency. It's not quite as thin as acrylic paint. So it holds its shape. So it's more of a heavy body. It's hard to describe unless you do it, if that makes any sense. But it's not like it's hard to paint with. It's about the same, I'd say the same difficulty as regular acrylic paint. It feels different, so at first it might seem a little strange when you're working with it. And then for the feathers, I'm going to go through and I'm going to be doing just black like that. And here's one thing I want to say is my original intention was to put gel in his tummy. I was going to put like a teal layer of gel and then embed some glitter and then cap that with clear. So it almost looked like a giant stone. That was my plan. And that did not work at all. I did actually try it and I did go through it and it looked fantastic. But because the case has flexibility, the gel just popped right off after it was all cured. It was like, okay, I'm done. Pop, gone. So that didn't work. So I later just painted that in. And it does work to do 3D and add embellishments and stuff to a case like this that has flexibility. The key, though, is to make sure it's not very large. And his stomach covered so much of the surface area that it was too much. Now, if you did this on the phone and you did not take it off the phone, it probably would work, because if you're going to just put the case on there and leave it, it's not going to bend because your phone isn't flexible. And so it'd be okay. The other thing I want to say is for this company, there is a discount code in the description box, and the stuff is seriously inexpensive. Like, amazingly inexpensive. So if you're looking for a cheap watch or a cheap bracelet or just, it's decent. It's not super high quality, but it's not junky either, if that makes sense. So if you're looking for stuff that's inexpensive, check it out, and they have a huge selection. They have some nail art stuff on there too, like rhinestones and things, and just look at the website. It's remarkable how inexpensive and how much stuff they have on there. I know when I was just looking at the stuff on their website, they had these really cute beach towels. One of them looked like a giant donut, and I thought that was kind of funny, but they have all sorts of things. And the phone cases, they have sizes for almost like every phone, even some older ones, which I thought was interesting, because if you have an older phone, it's not very easy to find cases all the time because no place carries them. So maybe check that out too. And so I just want to mention that. And for the tail, I did every other black, white, black, white, black, and then I put the veining in with the opposite color. So now for his tummy, once again, I did that whole mixing paint on the case thing, which sometimes when I go back through and I watch things I do, I'm thinking, why on earth did I do that? That was not right. This is kind of one of those scenarios. Normally do not mix paint on the thing you're painting because it just is not recommended. So, but to make the aqua paint, first I put down some green and then I mixed in some blue and then I lightened it with white, which does work. It did turn out okay. Just not generally the technique I would recommend. And then I'm outlining the stomach with some white. And then I'm going to go through with white again and just add a little type of pattern in it. And so first I start with 2 loops that just kind of go up like that. And then between the two, just like how I did on the top of the case, but this time I'm using the X's. This is what I put the X's on. I knew there was something. I'm just going to fill it in with all kinds of X's, just like that. And then add some smaller loops around the bottom one, almost to give it sort of like a feathered appearance. So I did 2 rows of those. So there's the first row, just to go through, because they usually, when you see owls painted, they got like little loops on their stomachs just to make them look all feathery. So I thought I should incorporate some of that. And so then there's the second row, and then I'm going to be adding some dots just along there, and then some dots on the top of it, and then add another loop around just like that, and then more of those little smaller loops, lots of little feathers, like little U shapes, and then some more polka dots. I like polka dots. I like polka dotted just about anything. So then to make his beak, I'm going to be sculpting that out of acrylic, and like I said, it's okay to do 3D stuff and to use products like acrylic and gel, or hard gel, builder gel, or clear gel or gel polish is fine because that has flexibility. But just make sure you don't do too much of it. So that was black acrylic on a nail form backing. Then once that's set, I'm just going to glue that on with some nail glue. And then with acrylic, apply 2 little rhinestones that are that aqua color for the little eyeballs just like that inside the black sections. And then I'm going to be applying a gel sealer over the top of everything that I painted, and that the multi-surface paint would be okay and it would be durable on your phone case after about 28 days, because it takes 28 days to fully cure and to fully set and be dishwasher safe. But if you want to use it right now and you want to be ready to go and durable, put some gel top coat on it, because then after it cures, and then you're good to go. And I would recommend using a no wipe gel top coat, because using the isopropyl on top of the phone case might mess with the surface of it a little bit. So that's it. That's all I wanted to mention there. So I hope you like this and share recreations with me on Facebook and Instagram. I'd love to see them, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!